Welcome to this presentation on multisensory instruction. This webinar is intended for all educators or anyone within the field to access as frequently as needed. What is multisensory instruction? Multisensory instruction incorporates the use of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic tactile modalities in the components of learning to read. This is achieved through the process of motor sequencing and sensory feedback. Multisensory instruction should be implemented in conjunction with explicit, sequential, systematic, cumulative instruction. Who does multisensory instruction benefit? Multisensory instruction benefits students with IEP plans, struggling readers, students in need of interventions, English language learners, and really, all students can benefit from hands-on multisensory instruction. Teachers working with dyslexic learners have found multisensory approaches particularly valuable as they help learners to make sense of information in a range of ways. So let's take a look at multisensory instruction within the classroom. These are some specific areas covered and strategies. So one area targeted is phonological awareness. This includes segmenting individual phonemes. A second area covered is phonics instruction, which includes teaching new skills and reviewing ones already taught. And finally, the focus is on encoding and decoding, which is spelling and reading words. One of the most well-regarded approaches in terms of multisensory instruction is the Orton-Gillingham approach. This approach has been around for many years. Many curriculums are derived from this approach, and it is found to be very successful. The Orton-Gillingham approach is a direct, explicit, multisensory, structured, sequential, diagnostic, and prescriptive way to teach literacy when reading, writing, and spelling does not come easily to individuals, such as those with dyslexia. The approach is best executed by a trained professional. It is typically used in a one-on-one setting, and it can also be used in small groups and tailored to whole class instruction as well. For educators interested in receiving more information or specific training regarding this approach, teachers can receive a cumulative training, which consists of a week workshop you attend to get basic training on the Orton-Gillingham approach. I attended this early on in my career. There is also a 2-year certification process that is very intense for teachers that are interested to become Orton-Gillingham certified. So one can become either Orton-Gillingham trained, which is the week-long workshop, or Orton-Gillingham certified, which is a 2-year college program. What does an Orton-Gillingham lesson look like? There are several components to an Orton-Gillingham lesson, and it should be done in this routine each time. So it begins with a sound card review. The teacher drills the student on the sounds already taught. This is using flashcards. This is a quick practice, and the student will review sounds that they may miss during the drill as well. After this, a new skill is taught. A new skill is introduced by the teacher using multisensory instruction. So again, we're building off of the learner's learning preference and utilizing hands-on activity to introduce the new skill along with repetition. After that, the teacher can use the same cards that were used in the sound card review to practice some blending. So the teacher arranges letter cards for the student to practice blending, and this is based off of the new skill. So for example, if they're teaching a CVC word for the new skill, the teacher may utilize the cards and set them up and change the vowel, practicing the new CVC word. After this, red words are introduced or practiced. In the Orton-Gillingham approach, red words are just another term for sight words. They are practiced using repetition and multisensory instruction. This is followed by reading practice. The student will practice reading words, sentences, and a decodable paragraph based off of the new skill. The lesson comes to an end by including some writing. So in this portion, the teacher will dictate words and sentences based on the new skill for students to practice writing independently. At the conclusion of this, the teacher can review any errors that were made with the student. Here I just wanted to share some multisensory resources, some classroom tools that can be used for learning. While the Orton-Gillingham approach is very structured, there are different ways to incorporate multisensory instruction into your classroom in basically a way that works for you. So here are some pictures of some tools that I use in my classroom when I'm teaching phonics to some of my students who may be in need of interventions or extra support. So this first picture here on the left is a sand tray. This is wonderful when practicing letter sounds, sight words. Some areas I've been working on with certain students are CBC words. This really helps make a connection for them. Here's some kinetic sand. This is another great tool. Students can use them to form letters and words when practicing phonics instruction as well. Another popular tool is a mini chalkboard. So again, this is a great hands-on tool for students to use when practicing letter sounds or phonetic concepts. Finally, these are stamps for Play-Doh. So each stick has a different letter on it. Students can spread out the Play-Doh and practice making words. This is great. We've used this for sight words this year. I wanted to share just a powerful quote that I found. There is no comprehension strategy powerful enough to compensate for the fact that you can't read the words. This is shared by Dr. Anita Archer. And this really ties in the importance of multisensory instruction and helping our students achieve the fluency they need. Because in reality, they're not going to be able to comprehend if they are not able to read the words that are presented to them. As we come to the end of this webinar, I just wanted to share a little reflection for all my educators who may be watching this right now. I want you to think to yourself, how do you currently use multisensory instruction in your classroom? Another question I wanted you to reflect upon is which strategies or resources would work best to incorporate into your instruction? If you're not familiar with Orton-Gillingham and you begin to dive into it, it can certainly be overwhelming at first, but as I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of curriculums have taken pieces from that approach and incorporated it into their own curriculum, and I have found that it's really helpful to kind of pick and choose what works for you, especially if you're not college certified from the Orton-Gillingham program, but you find this approach beneficial and you want to use it with your students. I have found it really helpful to pick and choose different strategies from things I have researched and what I learned from the training and utilize it for my students where I feel works best for them. And I hope you find this helpful and can do this as well in your classroom. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to my presentation. I hope you find this helpful and can refer to this when you are in need of some support for your students.